What's up, guys? Hades here. So I got this really cool message from someone in the Alliance, and it said, "Hey Imp, how's it going? I was wondering if you could make a video on how to use gems like in events." And I asked some more probing questions, but this really prompted me for this video, and I think it's a great idea because I usually cater to the dolphins of the game, the people who spend a few $100 a month or a week, but I don't really cater to the people who spend, between 0 and $50 in a month. And some of these players, like I've been playing with Cortex for years, and they have tons of gems, and they want to go, how can I transfer these gems into more power in my march, right? And I want to talk about that and what you can do to improve your march as a low spender. Okay, so I think the best event in the game right now is actually this energy core. I already bought it, but you can buy 3 cores for 1,000 gems, and it sounds expensive, but gems should be used to either have fun or improve your march. Okay, so in this event, that 20,000 gems is going to convert you 60 batteries. Okay, and 60 batteries shouldn't be spent, but you can do it 3 days, so 60,000 gems can turn into 120 batteries. Now we're talking. Now we can get a lot of rune insignias, and if you're someone who's been playing for years and years and years and you never spend your gems, you've been really conservative with them, maybe you have 1 million gems or 1.5 million. Like, you really collect them very easily in this game if you don't waste them. They can convert into some really interesting things that technically are free. Technically everything in this shop is free, right? You can convert free gems into insignias, which then convert into legendary heroes, right? And that's really cool. It also turns into inferno insignias, which means you can turn your inferno insignias into, again, legendary heroes, or you can turn them into Holy Shadow, right? And so that gives us options. And what first that tells us, gems can directly convert our power into Holy Shadow or legendary. And then we have to decide if it's worth it, how much it would take, and how much is actually going to improve our march. Now I have a few people in mind as examples, and I wanted to talk about legendary heroes versus red skills, because both improve your march. And I think one of the greatest examples is this march right here. It's basically a free march. Besides Fufei, it's basically free. Okay, now of course it has red skills, but a nearly free march, the dragon and 3 of the heroes are free to play, right? With some time, and of course Shadow's not completely free, but it is technically. We're just gonna say technically. With the right red skills, right? These 2 plus 9 through butter, and there's a few other on Alex. I mean, this player is top 10 in arena, right? Red skills are the most important, but there is no free way to get them. So what we can do is we can look at some players who are more in the 50 to 60 range. I have some in mind right here, Rafsta and Moina. These are really great players, and they play within their means. Now, I've talked about this build many times. Alexander the Great with this setup, guarding, that's going to do you well in a lot of scenarios. But then there's also this player who has legendary heroes, but they're not leveled up and doesn't have red skills. Look at this, no red skills. This is all free. This player really optimizes everything, saves every gem, earns every gem, converts them into heroes, and now they have legendary heroes. Now, of course, it's going to be really hard to level them up. But again, this is technically free, right? You can get this through, bets. You can get them in the bets in Throne of Supreme. It's in the shop right here. You can technically get them for free. You get a couple free every week from, what is it? Vision Azuma. You get a free one every week. And so, there are ways to go about that. So let's jump back to Rune Factory, because if you have hundreds of thousands of gems or millions, you might actually be able to get a new hero. And you have to decide, is that new hero going to change my march for the better? And what zone of players can I beat? Because remember, everyone has their own spending realm. And your job as a low spender is not to beat someone as a high spender. Your job is to beat other low spenders. And same with dolphins. Dolphins are not supposed to be whales, but they're supposed to be the other dolphins within their realm, right? So a few options are going for Fufei. I mean, Fufei is not out of the realm of possibility with free gem batteries. Like, actually, she can be maxed. The problem is you probably won't get, it would take a long time to get her artifact, but it's really not that different. 200 gives 80, so you're gonna need about what, 2,000 or 3,000 rune insignias, which, you know, is gonna take a lot of batteries and a lot of weeks. So it is a project, but it is something to consider. I mean, I've done videos on this in the past, and the average rune insignias you get is quite good. You saw that first spin was 16, and then of course some spins you get 0 or 2, and that's just the way it is. I would never ever spin this event unless I had 100 batteries, so that I guarantee that max prize, because what this event's really about is that max prize. You can get it before the 100, but if you don't, there is the safety net system that allows you to get it on that last try, and then you get the 70. And now we have all these insignias, and I could almost buy 80 Fufei fragments just from that, right? So these are your options. Looking to get a better support. Supports could be pretty good even with low dust, and they wouldn't take too long, and you'd probably need about 500,000 to 600,000 gems to do it, to get them usable. You could also improve your tank, right? You could change into something like Anubis. That would also improve you. I would not recommend one of the carries like Poseidon, Loki, Wukong, mainly because they'd need to be maxed. They'd have to have a perfect artifacts max. They'd have to be maxed level 8 spec, which would take way too many gems and way too much time, and you just wouldn't get there. And then they really need red skills to actually be effective, right? And that's kind of the course of action. And of course, you can go Inferno Insignias, get those Himikos, Bjorns, Theodoras, things like that. Things that you may not have finished or capped out. If you need to max those out, this is a pretty solid way to do it if you're looking at that free range, right? This is the free range. This is an interesting concept because a lot of players out there, and I think a lot of players who watch, are, you know, on the low spender free-to-play side. And I'm gonna try and think about you guys more and get more of that free-to-play content out there, things to maximize the events, maximize your accounts in general. And I'd be saving everything you get for these moments so that you can improve your marches. If you like this kind of videos, make sure to leave likes and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.